Hello and welcome to T&T Group Development. We are Training and Transformation training consultants from Brandman University. Today we're going to talk about group development and specifically some of the theories that exist regarding group development models. First of all, I want to point out that there are many models that exist, but what you're going to find about them is that they have similar components. So we're going to focus on those components and we're going to watch two different videos. We have two presentations for you today about development models, some of their similarities and some of their distinct differences. In the book, Becoming a Resident Leader, we recognize that if you truly want to be a leader, you want to be able to release people's talent, their creativity, and their resilience. And what better way than to work with your own team in making them transformational? So some of the well-known models that most of you have probably heard of are first the group development model by William Schutz, and then there's Anderson, Riddle, and Martin's group socialization theory, and finally the most popular from the 1965 theory is Tuckman's stages of group development with his model, and we'll talk about that one in the second presentation. So let's start with Schutz and his group development model. And first of all, the biggest distinction about this particular model is the focus is on why people participate in groups rather than the functioning of each stage that people are in when they are in a group. So he had three basic categories as to why people participate in groups. The first one is inclusion. I think we can all think back when we were children playing on a playground. Our biggest desire was to belong. We wanted to belong to a group or to a clique, if you will. That continues throughout our life. We like to belong to organizations, whether it's because we're very interested in the task at hand or the people in the group, or maybe the intrinsic value of belonging with other people. The second reason why people join groups is for affection, or as Schutz coined it, openness. Some families are not very emotionally open, and so people will seek out other areas, other groups to belong to, where they can express how they feel and what is important to them. Some people will do this in their work organizations. Others will do this for nonprofits. Some might even do it more with social interaction. People might belong to a fraternity or a sorority or to a particular nonprofit or a Bible study where they can express how they feel with other people. The last type of a reason why people join groups or participate in groups would be for control. And this might sound silly that, oh, everybody wants to be in charge. That's not necessarily true. Some people, throughout our lives, we find that sometimes we're in charge and other times we're being told what to do. And we actually have a desire for both of those elements. I have a good friend. His name is Paul, and he's a CEO of a corporation. He's constantly telling people what to do and how to do it, and he is definitely the man in charge. Well, Paul also participates in a nonprofit organization where they have this huge fundraiser every year. It's a big breakfast, and the logistics involved in that particular breakfast are pretty impressive. And at any point, he could certainly be in charge of the organization and how they function, where the tables are being set up, and who's in charge of what work group. But at that particular organization, the nonprofit, Paul is quite happy to serve orange juice and to follow orders. So sometimes we want to be in charge, and other times we just want to participate and help. So we belong to different groups for different reasons. The next theory or model I'm going to talk about is group socialization. And this came out of some communication scholars, Anderson, Martin, and Riddle. And they were looking specifically at how people communicate in groups, and they focused mainly on relationships and communication. But you will see elements of Tuckman's model as I go through their particular stages. They also have 5 stages, very similar to Tuckman's, and some of them will appear almost identical. The emphasis, though, is on relationships and communication. A sense of relationship is really important. We know from the book Building Teams, Building People that there are four categories that make up the characteristics of effective teams. And one of those major categories is actually interaction. And the notion of creating a sense of relationship is vital to an organization being successful. So, the first phase in the group socialization development model is the antecedent phase. And in an antecedent phase, we are looking at how people bring their personal attitudes, their motives, and their communicative behavior to the group or to the team. We don't walk into a team as a blank canvas. As a matter of fact, we could argue that everybody's got luggage. We take our baggage everywhere we go, and some people have a little small carry on bag, and other people have trunks and trunks of suitcases that they carry with them. But basically, what we're looking at here is the idea that every person has had interactions previous to this particular group or team, and those attitudes, motives, positives and negatives that they've experienced in other teams will cause them to look at this particular team or group in a particular way. The next phase is the anticipatory phase. And the anticipatory phase is the expectations of the individuals, the group, or the team. This is what I like to call the honeymoon stage. This is when we have those big, big dreams, those illusions of grandeur about what our team could possibly be. Maybe you end up in a group with someone who's really popular or someone who's extremely talented. And you're so excited about all the wonderful, fabulous things that you could do with this group. And as a group, you come together and you start to brainstorm, and it just sounds amazing. And you're so excited about the possibilities that your team could possibly accomplish. We move into the next phase, and it's called the encounter phase. And the encounter phase is when expectations meet reality. So here you are in a group, and you're so excited about all these fabulous dreams that you have about the potential of your group, and reality happens. Timelines occur. Maybe that person you thought that was extremely talented isn't quite as talented as you thought, or maybe some things that they promised they could do, in reality they couldn't. Whatever the reason might be, this is a kind of a depressed stage in group development. This is where conflicts occur. People don't meet deadlines. People don't follow through. People are unable to do the things that they maybe initially promised. After that phase, we move into something called the assimilation phase. And this is a really important part in group development because in the assimilation phase, we reach full integration. We become productive and we become supportive. We blend our energies together. So you had all these great expectations of what your group could accomplish, and then reality hit and you recognize those things couldn't happen. In the assimilation phase, you take a look at that reality and you say, okay, we can't do that, but what can we do? And this is where the group really comes together and they figure out what they can do. And quite often they tend to excel beyond where they thought they would end up. This is the most functioning portion of group development. This is when groups are at their peak, integrating together, working together, being flexible with what they really have. And then we have something called the exit phase. And in the exit phase, this is when individuals leave or the team disbands. Now, it could be that the charge that the team had is over, it's complete, and so the team completely closes. Or it could be that some members leave the team and new members come on. Even though new members are coming on and the team is going to continue, it's not the same team. There has to be an exit phase. If you've ever played a sport, whether in high school or in college, you know that at the end of the year, seniors graduate and move on, and incoming freshmen enter onto the team. The team might still have the same logo, same slogan, same mascot, but it's not the same team. Whenever members leave and new members enter, it's an opportunity for that team to begin again in the antecedent phase and to start the process over. Granted, some of the existing team members will still carry with them that sense of relationship, but now the dynamics of the overarching team have changed. So, we've talked a little bit about why people go into groups, and we've talked about relationships and communication within groups. The next video we're going to show you is going to be all about Tuckman's model.